welcome back to Rising. Lindsey, what's in your lens today?
Let's get right to it. So the President Trump granted a pardon last month to Changpeng Zhao, a billionaire crypto founder who pleaded guilty to money laundering violations in 2023. Now, Zhao's company, Binance, had even struck a business deal in May involving World Liberty Financial, the Trump family's own crypto venture. But when the president sat down with CBS's 60 Minutes recently, he gave us this unforgettable moment.
The government at the time said that CZ had caused significant harm to U.S. national security, essentially by allowing terrorist groups like Hamas to move millions of dollars around. Why did you pardon him?
Okay, are you ready? I don't know who he is. I know he got a 4-month sentence or something like that, and I heard it was a Biden witch hunt.
You heard that right. He doesn't know the billionaire he just pardoned. According to the New York Times, Zhao hired lawyers and lobbyists with deep Trump ties while seeking this pardon. And Binance made that lucrative deal with Trump's crypto company, reportedly worth tens of millions of dollars a year. So when asked if this looked like a pay for play, here's how Trump brushed it off.
How do you address the appearance of pay for play?
Well, here's the thing. I know nothing about it because I'm too busy doing the other.
But he got a pardon. But he got a
No,
pardon.
I can only tell you this. My sons are into it. I'm glad they are because it's probably a great industry, crypto. I think it's good.
So that answer pretty much leaves us with two options. Option one, he's lying, which would make sense considering Zhao's deal directly benefits Trump and his family. Or option two, he's telling the truth and really did sign off on a presidential pardon without knowing who it was for. Either way, that's not exactly profile in leadership. Because if the president of the United States can't recall who he's pardoning or doesn't bother to ask, what message does that send about accountability at the highest level? Especially the same president who has spent months insisting Joe Biden was too impaired to even know who he was pardoning, accusing him of using the auto pen machine. Now, during that same 60 Minutes interview, Trump argued, quote, Biden didn't have a clue. He illegally used, as you know, a machine, the auto pen, in order to give pardons to people. So let me get this straight. It's outrageous if Biden doesn't know who he's pardoning, but totally fine if Trump doesn't. At some point, we have to stop letting I don't know double as a political strategy. Denial cannot be the default response.
Well, Lindsey, though I occupy the right position on this show, I feel I am an independent-minded libertarian. I feel no obligation to defend every single thing Trump does if I don't agree with it. This is one of those times where I would not mount a defense of him not knowing who this person is that he pardoned, in the same way that I have criticized Joe Biden for not being aware of people he was pardoning, not even being aware of anything going on. I think this is similarly bad that he doesn't know. It wasn't just, I can't quite recall the circumstances. I'll get back. He's like, I don't know. My son said it was important. They're involved in this industry. This certainly raises the potential for corruption. I agree with him. I'm supportive of crypto. I think crypto should be lightly regulated so that we should continue to promote this growing industry. I think the respect for crypto that the administration has shown is good policy, but that does not excuse individual, even if it's not corruption, it looks corrupt, and he should not be issuing pardons to people he doesn't know what the circumstances are. So I don't really disagree with what you're saying. How about that?
I don't even have any pearls to clutch. I'm like,
well, I mean, so that goes to show you when I do disagree with you, it's sincere. I don't, it's fine.
But this is the thing.
Not do that.
So the lesser issue here would be if he didn't know, right?
Right.
The bigger
I think
issue.
He doesn't know.
The bigger issue, which people are leaning on.
He doesn't know.
He looked honest. I don't know what that looks like, but the bigger issue would be if you are making millions of dollars off of a deal and somebody's paying for a pardon, which is what that the optics look like. So the president and his team get mad when Democrats look into stuff like this. This looks egregiously bad. Right. Somebody paid your son's company that you have nothing to do with, but you hosted a crypto dinner ball extravaganza right when you got into the White House for people who invested in your company that's kind of, by the way, your company, but your son's. But then you know nothing about who's investing in it or why. But then right after that investment comes a pardon for somebody that you don't know at all. So it looks like your sons are playing pay for play with your name then.
Right.
And that should be
Just
wildly
like Hunter
inappropriate.
Biden was receiving hundreds of thousands of dollars a year from a Ukrainian energy company.
Would I say that
to put
was
his dad
wrong?
on the phone. No, right. To put his dad on the phone, and by Chinese influences and by all sorts of other things. And then when Joe Biden was no longer the vice president, Hunter's salary got decreased. That tells you something. And, Hunter got a pardon for any misdeeds that might have occurred in that time.
But
And
so
that was really bad,
actively-
and so is this.
Actively,
Both those things are bad.
actively, by President Trump and his team saying that Biden was using the auto pen, they want to dismiss some of those pardons, including Hunter Biden's pardon. And so by doing that and having your sons, one, engage in similar behavior to Hunter, and two, you pretending or saying that you don't know who you're pardoning, you're doing both things that you are targeting directly right now in this moment President Biden for. And I know I'm not arguing with you because you said you agree already, but to anybody who defends this, how to make it make sense. Which one? Which one?
I mean,
Are you greenlighting the behavior from your kids, or are you greenlighting pardoning people without understanding who they are?
I am concerned about the potential for corruption, personal enrichment, obviously that the Trump family evinces, that the Biden family evinces.
And if they'll do it here,
big
then
and powerful
to
government.
expand the conversation, if they'll do it here, then they'll do it across the board. Like when people give you money for a ballroom, and then you do something for them that makes them operate
money
business
is
more
not going-
appropriately. I just want to
No,
drag.
it's
I want to
going
drag out this conversation so you can
the
connect the
ballroom.
dots for me
You want to
here.
give me some reason to fight with you. It's not, the money for the ballroom is for the American people because it's for the White House. Trump doesn't own the White House. He will not, it's not his, when he's gone from
It makes him look good. It
this
makes
is
his
a-
legacy look good if he has this
in the
esteemed
same way
ballroom.
that Jackie Kennedy's
and so he takes
beautiful
money.
restoration of the original European influences of the structure, that also made the Kennedys look good, but deservedly so because she did a great job with it. I mean, it's just, who cares?
Well, there's a conversation about private investors and what they're getting in return. What's the quid pro quo here? I think people have that conversation in mind because President Trump has shown us that where there's smoke, sometimes there's fire, and it seems to be like there's a little quid pro quo in this crypto pardoning.
how I would deal-
So people have to just ask a question. The Republicans can't get mad when people ask a
big,
question.
Powerful government, when you have a giant centralized federal government with vast regulatory powers that can, with a snap of its fingers, it doesn't have fingers, but with the movement, the workings of its gears, the turning of its operations, can destroy industries or uplift specific firms. My solution to this problem is not actually to have greater accountability or wall off influencing and lobby. There's no way they're going to get around that. The more is at stake, the more determined the biggest players, the most with the most money at stake, will find ways to influence the government, no matter how robust your campaign finance laws are or whatever else it is. My solution is to make the government smaller and less powerful, so that there's less of an incentive to try to bribe it into doing what you want. If the government doesn't have much, it just has some basic rules of the road, but can award massive contracts to this industry or massive favoritism to this firm, so on and so forth, well then there will be less influencing peddling to do. That's my only solution. People don't like it, but that's what I propose.
That seems like it would bring more fairness, particularly when it comes down to how the current
That's what
president
my
is
ideology
handling
calls for.
his business affairs
Yeah.
in relation to his presidency. Now,
Polls are opening for Election Day, however, in New York City. Elections happening all over the place. We're excited. Up next, what people are saying about the mayoral frontrunner, Zoran Mamdani, ahead of that big decision. Stay tuned.